We as a council have decided to keep the Youth Violence Prevention Plan. This plan addresses the problems of the future today. This plan goes after the youth because they want to encourage them to continue going to school, continue their education, go off to college, and get a career. They're trying to show these kids that that is the best option for them, not joining a gang or picking up a gun. We're trying to get rid of all of that violence, and one of the biggest objectives of the plan is to decrease and eventually completely get rid of all the gang violence in Detroit, because that is one of the biggest things. And while we're trying to influence the youth, because when you're young, that is the best age to influence anyone. When you're in your 20s and 30s, it's a little bit harder because you're already kind of set in your ways, but when you're 9, 10, it's much easier to show you and influence your brain a little bit more. This plan tries to give options, and yeah, you might not see results within the next year or two, but 5, 10 years down the road, you're going to see how this plan is just working so well to ensure that the city of Detroit has just a bright future, to get rid of all this violence. In Jonas Ocampo, Burke, and Gillian's article, Neighborhood Level Factors and Youth Violence, Giving Voice to the Perceptions of Prominent Neighborhood Individuals, one of the community members expressed that there's a quiet fear the parents, don't want their children to go down to the corner, relegated to the basement, things of that nature. So yeah, it increases the fear factor and a sense of, I think a lot of times, hopelessness. So the parents know even that they can't let their kids outside to play, and they have to keep them inside, rooms without windows even, because they're so afraid of getting hurt just living in a bad neighborhood. And that's what the Youth Violence Prevention Plan is trying to get rid of. That is their main goal. We've also decided to keep 40 positions at the Detroit Police Department. Losing 40 police officers to any city is a devastating loss, but to Detroit, those are lives lost and murders that turn to cold cases. While reading the Preventing Youth Violence Plan at www.detroitmi.gov on October 31st, 2013, Mayor Dave Bing stated that one of the most significant success stories is the reduction of homicide numbers to its lowest level since 1967. He later gave this credit to the data-driven deployment of officers. And that is incredible. Since 1967, we're at the lowest point. And if we get rid of those 40 officers, it's going to completely obliterate all the work we've done. And these 40 positions also add a sense of security to the residents and visitors to Detroit. The city has so much to offer with Motown and Greektown and Red Wings, Tigers, Lions, maybe not Lions, but it has so much to offer. And whenever people think of Detroit, the first thing I think of is the crime. And that's what we want to get rid of. And if we get rid of the Detroit Police Department, if we cut them by 40 police officers, that is going to get rid of that completely. Like, we want to make people feel safe, not worry that there might not be a police officer ready to help you if you need it. So that's why we're deciding to keep those officers. And now off to Chris to tell you what we're deciding to cut.